My name is Stephen DePorter. I am 32. I actually work at retail, and I am a cisgender male, and I identify as demisexual homoromantic. Cisgender pretty much means that I prefer my gender that I was born with, and demisexual means that I prefer to have more emotional bonds before I can be physically attracted to someone. And that's when the homoromantic, which means I prefer men to be romantic with. First time actually that, because I've actually come out more than once in my journey. The first time I actually came out about 12 years ago when I came to Fanshawe College the very first time and started realizing, looking deep into myself. And when I found, both times actually, I looked deep into myself and realized I was looking for the words and why I didn't like the same gender as like the norms. Everyone says that you should like the opposite sex. And then when I started looking at it and started realizing, hey, I actually do like men, but I didn't realize until actually 1 or 2 years ago that I didn't like them physically, but I liked them mentally and like the emotional bonds that I had with them. So it felt relief after I had that realization. It was actually the first time it was kind of scary just to come out, like to try to tell people. But the second time when I actually discovered myself again, I remember being in the shower and saying it out loud to myself and started crying because of relief. So for me, my journey continued on, like still is continuing on, where it's like relief every day is starting to come, and like, especially when you find the right words for yourself. It's hard to describe it in just a black and white kind of way, where I felt nervous at the beginning, and now the more I say it, the more relaxed I get. I discovered the demisexual word for myself through a YouTube video. And after doing my own research and realizing, hey, that is me. But it was just more of, I think more of my challenge was finding and having the right words to describe how I feel and who I am. My favorite coming out story is when I told my mom. When I told her that I was gay the first time. And then my mom was just like, about time you told me. Moms always know, it seems like that. And she was my easiest one to come out to, while my older sister and, not my younger sister was very accepting, but my older sister, it took her a little while to embrace it, because it's not a normal type of thing, like in media especially. The only one that I really did have trouble with, even though that man loved me until the day he died, was my grandfather on my dad, my mom's side, I mean. And the way how we would talk, because we wouldn't talk about it, but the way how he would bring it up as his acknowledgement is Stephen's still little. It was like, that doesn't hurt me. I know that man will love me and will defend me until the day he dies, but if that's his way of acknowledging it, perfect. Other than that, it's only been strangers that when I'm being my true authentic self, I see the homophobia that comes in. But I've had such a great privilege of people loving and accepting for who I am. With me just being my normal self, talking like the way how I do, I've had some people start to feel awkward around me and start trying to get away from me. And yes, that does hurt a lot, because of the fact that it's just like, I just want to be myself. I'm just here to work. You can always tell by if they're starting to step a little back from you or lean back away, and even how they start to talk. Like, they're not going to talk just the way how I am, normal, calm and all that. You might find that they might lower their voice down or raise their voice up even a little bit more to compensate for the feelings of not wanting to be around the situation. And then it starts making even myself feel awkward in that, where it's like, did I do something wrong? But no, it's just because of those small little visual cues that I get to see, especially from different members, like if they're male or female, sometimes a bit more male than female. A lot of people who I've told do try to understand, but there is another world, because like I'm part of the asexual community, and to get devalued just from my own community, like from the LGBTQ plus community, where it's like you're not valued, you're not accepted type of sexuality because they don't believe it's real. And that part, I've heard it time and time again, where it's like demisexual, asexuals, aerosexuals and all that. Everyone who falls under asexuality is not valid in anybody's world, because the fact that, hey, they don't understand us, or they're not fighting for us. So it does take effect like that. I've been getting more and more comfortable expressing myself every single day, especially as I've said before, where it's like, as soon as I discovered that I was demisexual and said the word out loud, just even having that relief wash over me. And it's allowed me to become more and more confident as the day goes on, even to help out people come out as their true selves, as I have done in the past too. And the more I get confident, the more they can get confident as well. We can join together. Fanshawe is a wonderful community that we have. Like, the only one thing is I wish that I knew about Spectrum, the club that I'm part of now. I wish I knew about it beforehand. But once I discovered and found out there's more people, the more I fall in love with Fanshawe, of how much accepting, how much they will use the right pronouns, or they will use, like, go with the right terminology and embrace in the change that the world has gone into is so relieving to be a part of Fanshawe. Going to Toronto in the Pride Parade, and actually being in the parade, I never thought in a million years I could be in front of everyone and just celebrating that and being like, letting myself actually loose. I was invited from the company I work for to go, and I've never looked back on it since. It's just so much relief, especially when you see the wall of people and you don't feel the hate. And that was just something phenomenal for me. And that's something I never thought I could ever do. Never stop looking for the right words. If you don't feel that a certain word like gay or lesbian or any of the main words, then continue to look for other people that maybe are under the umbrella you want to, and embrace yourself into a community that will accept you and be where you want to be. I've been so grateful to find that, and that's what I wish for everyone, is to find their community and find their acceptance. If you need anything, there is so many different resources out there. And one of the ones that helped me out, I went to queerevents.ca, I believe it is, and they helped me direct me into finding my community and finding just even finding resources, or even going and talking to a guidance counselor or your best friend, maybe or someone that you can actually go and talk to. Even if it's a stranger that is online that you maybe feel comfortable with. Be careful with that one. But there is so many ways that you can go and bring yourself into a brand new community. That's what Pride Month and Pride is always about, is finding who you are and finding your community.